going to talk about BLK male celebrities gone wild. So I'll wait until some more people get in, but that's what I want to talk about today. BLK male celebrities gone wild. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I don't know if you guys heard about Smokey Robinson today that has been hit with a whole bunch of SA allegations of, forcibly raping women over a period of years, having them work for them, trying to strong arm them to get them to do stuff with them, abusing his power, a whole host of other things. And I want to talk about why is it that there are so many famous BLK men involved in abuse scandals. I really want to talk about it, and let's break this down, and let's not talk about how they're attacking our black men, because that is what people will say. Oh, they're attacking our men. They're attacking our men. I can't believe this. The society just keeps on attacking our innocent men, and all of these women, they just throw themselves at BLK men, and then after everything is done, then all of these women want to tell on BLK men. And excuse me, let's be serious. Let's tell the truth. Where there is smoke, there is fire. And I don't know how many BLK men have to go through getting in trouble because they are sexually unregulated before they realize that, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to exhibit some type of self-control when it comes to the opposite gender. And not think that because I have some money and some privilege and some fame that I have a right to treat women however I would like to. So anyway, let me just start this. Like I said, I want to talk about, first of all, BLK male celebrities gone wild. Talking about, I don't know if you guys heard about Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson is out of my generation. I think is in my grandma's generation. But anywho, yes, I definitely think in my grandma's generation. But y'all still probably know who Smokey Robinson is. He is 85 years old and just getting hit with all of these different women. It's at least 4 of them right now that said that he has raped them, assaulted them, put hands on them. One lady said that he had her working there with him, like as a housekeeper, for 12 years since the early 2000s. Okay. And he was raping her, forcing himself on her, beating on her. Another woman said that she was like his assistant, and he basically told her that she had to give it up or she wasn't going to be able to pay her bills. And just a whole host of things. And all I see in the comments when I was looking was dumb women, dumb black women specifically, talking about, oh, you know what? Why are they that he's not done anything? Why are they attacking all of our brothers, all of our black men? I can't even believe this. And this is why, we got to stop these women from lying. And I'm just like flabbergasted by that. And then, of course, you see other BLK men saying, oh, everybody wants to put down the BLK man. They want to abuse us. They want to have us lose our legacy. Nobody can make you lose your legacy if you keep it in your pants. Nobody can make you lose your legacy if you keep your hands off of women. Nobody can make you lose your legacy if you just don't be around women that you don't know. That you don't be out there trying to sleep with everybody, because you never know what somebody's agenda is. But the problem is that sexual dysfunction and, a lack of sexual regulation at the hands of black men is prevalent in the black community. So much so that there are a lot of black women that feel like the only way for them to get a black man's attention is to be hyper schmexual and, act out and be very promiscuous and provocative. So when you allow this type of, I guess I would say environment in the BLK community, This is just what you get. This is what happens when you get it. And it's also what happens when all you have is men telling other men that, hey, when I get money, when I get some power, I'm going to be able to tell women to do whatever I want. They're going to do whatever I say. I'm be able to take whatever I want. I see a woman, I'm going to have a woman because I'm rich. And that's what happens with rich men, because rich men going to get the girl. You hear these dudes, these red pill dudes talking about every day that when they get some money, that they'll be able to get the finest women, the most beautiful women. They can do whatever they want to them because they got the money and they're paying all the bills. You hear so many times men say, well, if I pay all the bills, you going to do everything that I say. I'm be able to do this, that, and the third to you because I'm paying for it. And when you act like money gives you a right to take a person's autonomy away, or basically, essentially, that it will make them your slave, this is the type of actions that come from that type of belief system. Because men already feel like they're entitled to women. So you make rich men feel even more entitled to women and abusive, potentially abusive. But I don't feel sorry for Smokey Robinson. I don't feel sorry for Bill Cosby. Apparently, both of these guys are married. They were cheating. I don't feel sorry for Smokey. Don't feel sorry for Bill. Don't feel sorry for Diddy. Don't feel sorry for R. Kelly. Don't feel sorry for none of them, because if you just kept it in your pants and stopped trying to harm people because you got some money, you wouldn't be in that position. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't. And you had a wife and you was always with her and you was always doing what you're supposed to do, it'd be very rare to be able to get you to be caught up. Perfect example of that, Morris Chestnut. Right now, Morris Chestnut, I think we all know, is like, I guess what would you say about Morris Chestnut? Morris Chestnut is like a sex symbol to women. And I'm sure that Morris Chestnut has had his fair share of women throwing it at him. His fair share of being invited to Hollywood parties and all these type of things. I heard that Morris Chestnut don't be doing that. He tried to stay around his wife. You know what I'm saying? And what does that result in? You ain't never heard about that man in any type of drama or any type of problems. Yes, completely unproblematic. So people can't lie on you. People can't okie doke you and you mind your business. You around a whole bunch of random heifers 24/7. You out at the club being surrounded by white tea women, non-black women. What do you expect is going to happen? Those women don't really desire you and want you. They do want what you have, though, which is your money and some clout off of you. So I just, like I said, I can't feel sorry for these dudes at all, these men. I can't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them. And, when people talk about, look at what these women are doing to our men. First of all, the community is doing it to them, because all BLK men are brainwashed to believe that if they get some money, if they get some power, that they'll be able to do whatever they want. And I also have question is, why is BLK men's first thought process upon receiving money, how can I use this money to tell people what to do, control women, have access to their bodies, use them, treat them like objects? Like, why are you not thinking about, when you get some money, going around the world and being a humanitarian, going around the world and helping homeless people, and going around the world and finding people that are struggling, that are really down bad, and giving them like an amount of money to to help change their life? Like, there are a lot of people out here, like, if you were like, let's say you were like Jay-Z, that's a billionaire. You could go to random places and look up people or find people that just need help and send them like 10 racks. You know what I'm saying? It could be a tax write-off. Send them $10,000. $10,000 could change the right person's life. You know what I'm saying? But no, they're not out there doing nothing like that. Diddy out here trying to put baby oil on everybody, trying to beat the brakes off women and get people to do, orgies and whatnot. So I don't feel sorry for you. You lived a selfish life and you got selfish results. And that's why there's nobody to stand by you, because you never lived your life actually really building relationships with people. What you did is what could they do to be of use to you? If they wasn't serving you or you didn't feel like they were on your level, you wasn't treating them with respect. And that's why he's where he is right now. Not to mention the lack of schmexual regulation. You know what I mean? And that's a very, 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 very big problem in the BLK community, especially with BLK men, that they're not able to control themselves schmexually. They're not able to abstain. They're not able to keep it in their pants. All they're trying to do is give it to whoever will allow them to do so. They're even going in packs to other countries only to buy 304s. Which is actually disgraceful when you think about it, that you have to go on board a flight because you too cheap or too broke to get a woman that you can pay for in the States. So you like, oh man, I don't got that $40. So let me see if I go overseas, if I can get it for $5. Like, that's ridiculous. But like I said, it's the lack of regulation. And it doesn't just manifest on the sexual side when it comes to BLK men either. It actually manifests in the amount of crimes against each other they commit. The fact that, BLK men's, number one leading cause of unaliving from, I think it is like 16 to 40 years old, is schmamicide. I don't know if I can say these type of names, so I'm just trying to use a different type of word. So if y'all wonder why I'm saying it like that, but it's schmamicide, or the fact that black women, make up 10% of all, out of all women here in the United States, but make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. And over 95% of the time, it's at the hands of a BLK man. Like, they have no regulation over each other or how they treat their mothers, daughters, or anything of that nature. And the reason why is because self-control is not something that is prized amongst BLK men. It's not. And it's not something that I don't feel like the community is doing a good enough job in instilling that into men. There's nothing wrong with being abstinent. Men should be being abstinent, but what it is that we just make it like, men are supposed to be these type of unregulated perverts. Let me see. I'm going to send you a request to come up, Khalil, because I'd like to know what I said that was a lie. Everything that I said was completely accurate. And not only is it accurate, but you can back it up with statistics. So I have no idea what you could possibly mean that I was lying about. I'm flabbergasted. What was it? What did I say that was a lie? Anyway, I think that, until we actually, it's not my opinion, it's a fact. It's a fact that BLK men unalive, they're women the most out of all races, and each other the most out of all races. That's a fact. It's a fact that BLK women make up a very large percentage of single mothers that have been left alone by BLK men. It's also a big factor that BLK men are the least married, but yet are the quickest to want to have intercourse with women, unregulated. Y'all are literally going overseas right now to have intercourse with strange women that you don't know what they have. They could have the package. They could have the herp. They could have bum bumps on their vajayjays. Y'all don't know, but y'all just out there trying to buy something. Like, what are we talking about? Like, who started a whole movement so that they could go overseas to buy 304s? All right, what? Let's see here. Kia Harris, he said it's the over-sexualization of our young girls and women. BLK women need to stop having kids out of wedlock. I mean, I definitely agree. I do. But I do think that, there are a lot of BLK women that have children outside of wedlock that were with men that they thought would eventually marry them, or they thought it was going to be a long-term relationship, and they got okey doked. Because BOK men are the least likely to marry, especially if you have their child, they're the least likely to marry you. So I think that BOK women, if they want a family or they want that, they have to require that in advance, because other than that, I don't think it's gonna happen unless it's like a, what's the word? It's like a non-negotiable. But I don't think that they should be having intercourse at all. So Kia Harris, where is that statistic at? Can you give me your source for the fact that Black women are having children with men they have known less than 6 months? Where is the documentation for that? Is that from the census? Any .gov sites of like reputable sources for that? Let me know where you got that information from, please. Because let me know where. No, I don't want to hear reality. We talk about facts and stats over here, not your feelings. Because if that's the case, if it's reality, how many children do you have from men that you knew less than 6 months? How many? And how many did your mother know your father for less than 6 months when she became impregnated with you? I did open the panel. I did. Okay, hold on. Let me send you a request. You can go ahead and come up. So yes, I was asking you a question. So how do you know this? Did you have a child with? So how do you know this? Did you have a child with the man that you knew less than six?
First, we're not going to make this personal about me or my mother. We're not going to start this conversation there.
Okay,
If
well
you
then
want to
what we
hear
have to,
about
no, no,
my
no. Wait
personal
a minute.
life,
No, wait a minute.
if you
Wait a
want,
minute. No, don't do that. Then let's have the conversation with facts. So we're first going to ask you where you got your source information from. So I want to know what website you got that from. Is it a .gov? Is it a reputable source that you could use if you were giving a report at college? Let me know. So
are you
where'd you
ready for
get
my
it?
answer?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it from the reality of our community, the
Okay,
people that
so
I see
exactly, you have
around.
no facts. You have no facts. That's your
The
opinion,
point of
not a
letting me know
reality of the community. That's not a reality of the community. I'm a
it is,
I'm a
ma'am.
black woman. I'm a black woman. I've been
So
married
am
for
I.
15 years. I've been married for 15 years.
I've
I
been
have
married for
two
10.
children, and I'm
I
married
have
to
3.
my husband. So what are we talking about?
So am I.
You just said you too. So then how is it reality if you
It's the
you
reality.
you are
Stop
not like
acting
that
like
and I
stop
am not like
acting
that?
like
So then what are
this
we
this
talking about?
narrative is not being perpetrated in our community.
You have no sources. I'm not talking about what's being perpetrated in the community, because it's crazy that we're talking about black men, but you wanted to talk about black women and you want to talk about an experience
Can't
that
even hear an
you don't
articulate
have.
answer without
You
getting
don't want
upset
to,
and
please
muting me.
don't
You
cut
don't
me
know how to
off.
have a
This is
constructive
my life.
argument.
I don't know what, ma'am, please don't do that. Don't be
No, you don't
disrespectful.
do that. You can't even
No,
have
no, you don't do that. You're being disrespectful. You're being
I'm
ignorant.
not. You're muting
You're
me because
being
you don't want to hear
ignorant.
what I
I
have to
can mute
say.
you. This is my life. Don't be
Okay,
ignorant.
well, you enjoy your
Don't
life,
be,
ma'am.
yes, you, bye bye. Have a great day. Have a great day, because what I'm not going to do is go back and forth with you on my live about something that you have absolutely no proof of. So it's like, what are we talking about? If you don't have any proof, why would you want to talk? I said, hey, can you give me proof? The first thing you said is from the reality of the community. So then I ask you, how can you quantify that? You tell me that you're not that type of black woman. I tell you that I'm not that type of black woman. So now you have two black women. So how is it every black woman that you know? We don't talk about feelings over here. We talk about something that can be quantified and that cannot. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like when you have women like that are deeply male centered, bordering on pick me. You know what I'm saying? And they just want to regurgitate something that a man told them, and that's not even there. Like, it's literally insane. Go ahead, PG 1908. That lady was bugging.
Hey Trigger, how you doing?
Hey,
Oh
sis.
my God. It's you know what? It's really too much. I don't even know who is involved in another scandal, but it really doesn't even matter at this point because at the end of the day, we as a culture of people, we are really gonna have to decide who is going and who's not going. And when it comes to BLK male culture, I honestly think that's what put the nail in the coffin for BLK males they're just we're not going to be able to win with a predominantly losing group of males. And a lot of people are just not ready to have that conversation. A lot of people are not ready to talk about the fact that a lot of these guys are mentally gone. They're spiritually
PG
gone.
1908. I wanted to tell you while you were talking, you know how you said you didn't know who messed up? It was Smokey Robinson, girl.
Isn't he like 100 years
Girl,
old?
he 85 years old, girl. He got
Messed up.
four women.
Who
Four
has he?
women that say he been raping them. Oh, sorry,
Oh my
graping them, graping
God.
them, graping
Oh
them,
my
graping them
God.
for the
And
past like 12 years, girl.
and I don't mean to be graphic, but when you get to a certain age, you can't get yourself to a place to where you can
I
physically
guess he can,
engage.
girl. I guess he can. Maybe he take the little blue pills, sis.
Smokey Robinson, he's supposed to be an ancestor. He's supposed to be a legend. How he out here? Oh my God. You know what? Now that I know that, it just kind of messed my mind up. 'Cause like, how this great granddaddy? How in the world is this great granddad out here on some dude? You knocking at the pearly gates. You really want this? You really want to answer for this in your later years? Like what's you know what, Trigger? People. Oh my God! I didn't know it was gonna be him. Lord, geez,
Girl,
really?
I was shocked too.
I had a whole little spiel I was gonna get into the great great. You know what? That just goes to show they don't ever change. They are YNs forever.
Girl.
Girl, YNs forever. Grow up never. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Lost Boys. They with Peter Pan. These dudes never grow. You 86 years old, my guy. You an ancestor. Like, how in the world could you even you supposed to learn some sense. You out here violating people, you essaying people. Oh my God, Trigger, that's a testament. That's a testament to the fact that these dudes are never gonna come out this mess. They not. I am completely convinced that their culture, BLK male culture, is done. They will never come out of it. 86 years old, you out here essaying people. Really? I don't even know how your hips, how you even able to do this at 86 years old. You Trigger, I swear to God, it is really the culture of BLK males. It doesn't matter, obviously, how much money, because they think that they're going to have this money. They all think that they're going to be Hugh Hefner one day, and they're going to have 5 and 6 26-year-olds running through a mansion. First of all, most of them won't ever see that type of money. So for them to even entertain that thought that they're going to have some financial glow up, that one day they're going to have all this money, they're never, first of all, their work ethic does not justify thinking that you're going to be a millionaire because you don't have a millionaire's mindset, you don't have a millionaire's work ethic. So you're never going to see that type of money because half of them can't get out of bed before 1 o'clock. So it's like you're never going to see a financial glow up. You're never, and then their obsession with control Trigger. Here's the thing that really trips me out. They don't even want relationships. They don't want to have a nuclear family. They just say that because they want to have access to control women. And it's really sad because a lot of these younger women, a lot of people who are under the age of 30, they thinking that they're going to have this picket white fence just like their other counterparts in different races. That's not going to happen because our male counterparts in this race, they don't want relationships. They just want to have physical access to women and control. That's it. They don't want a relationship. But I can't believe that ancestor got charges on him. That's crazy to me. That is crazy.
Yeah, I was shocked too, girl. Like I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow. It was, I mean, I don't know. And somebody in the comments said that, all men are doing this, but is that black men don't make like people sign NDAs. I'm not for sure about that. I will say that I really do believe that this type of behavior, predatory behavior, is present in all men. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't believe that, because I do. I believe the majority of men of all races are degenerates and can't be trusted.
Hmm.
However, I will say that I'm not for sure if black men aren't making women sign NDAs, because Diddy was making women sign NDAs and things like that. So it's something that, celebrity black men, rich black men are definitely aware of that they need to do. It's not like a lawyer wouldn't have advised them, hey, make sure you have these women sign NDAs and stuff like that. I think that their behavior is just getting so out of control, or they have like this power thing that, they are black men that have made it, beat the odds, and are extremely successful. So maybe they feel untouchable at that point. I'm not really for sure, but yeah. And I just, for anybody that heard the lady earlier, she was already like being ignorant in the comments, and I already knew that she was on some like pick me type of time. So when she came up and said we're not going to talk about her mother, that's the only reason why I brought her up, because I asked her a question that she refused to answer. But then she answered about herself, and it's just like, I don't know how you can put something on all black women while simultaneously acting like you are the exception. And I think that's a real big problem with women that have a lot of pick me ideology, is that they always want to demonize women, but they want to also at the same time make themselves look like an angel or the exception. Oh, look, all of these other black women are unruly, ignorant, masculine. They're 304s, but not me though. Not me though. I'm the picture of innocence and perfection. And that's some weird stuff to do, especially that lady was like, at least, my age. Like you should definitely know better. When you start to get 30, 35, 40, 45, and you still acting like that, that's embarrassing to me. Like, you see all of this stuff happening. So it was just like, I'm sorry. I guess I probably should have let her say some more, but I just didn't like her attitude either. And I really don't like it when somebody I bring up, I don't even know you, and you just start acting like you just about to come up and overtalk me and just regulate me on my stuff. It's like me coming in y'all house and telling y'all what to cook and how to clean out your bathroom sinks. Like, you be looking at me like, if you don't get out of here, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, that just blew me. But if you say something that's just so out off the wall about like all black women are doing is they're the ones that are having babies with men that they knew less than 6 months. That's a crazy allegation to make. So it's like, cool, you made the allegation. I'm not going to, stop you from expressing yourself, but I would like you, the first thing that you do when that comes out of your mouth is to tell me where you got it from. What source did you get that every black woman that's having a baby knew the man 6 months or less? Where's that at? And then you couldn't tell me. You just said your personal experience in the community, but then you just said it's not you. So then how do you know? How many women are coming up and telling you how long they knew the men that they had babies with so that you can time it? Like, are you crazy? A delusional person. I know that's something that you learn in high school, that when you check things, you're supposed to check for sources, and you're supposed to check for reliable sources. That's the way you make sure your stuff is accurate. Like, I would think that if you you didn't even have to go to college, even though I learned that further in college, but it's just like, you didn't learn that. Like, what are we talking about? Crazy. But then get mad at me when I say, hey, where's your source? Now all of a sudden you wanna, and it's crazy because when people now all of a sudden you wanna, and it's crazy because when people make allegations about black women and tear black women to pieces, people can use it and just people take it for face value. Somebody could go out and say every black woman goes outside and starts biting people's necks off. People will be like, oh yeah. But anytime you say something about black men or somebody else, and you say something about them, then all of a sudden, where's your stats? Where's this? Where's the calculations? Now you need all the proof in the world. But you don't need no proof when you're talking about black women. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I
Because
don't get it at
people are
all.
they're more willing to believe the negative stuff about black women. But when it comes to black men, because they're a protected class within our race, people are always ready to give them the benefit of the doubt. They never give black.
I definitely agree with you on that. It's like almost like a confirmation bias. You know what I'm saying? It's really disgusting. And I feel like the worst thing that makes me mad is because I'm numb to like black men saying stuff to me or saying stuff about me or saying stuff about black women, because that's just a regular thing. Since I've been doing this like social media stuff, I'm used to all of that. But when you see black women that really just go hard against other black women for men that would not spit on them if they were on fire. That just like everybody saw all those black men that were sitting at that table, sit there and repeat the N word to some black women that a non-black man called them. I mean, it's just like, why would you feel like you needed to be the protector and defender of a collective of men that would not defend you? They would not defend you. They would not stand up for you. They would not talk about you, in a great way. It's really crazy to see women do that. Like, it's like, it makes me question, like, are you all right? Are you mentally well? Like, do you need male validation that bad? And
But you
then,
know what,
yeah.
Trigger? Most pygmies have to go through a traumatic experience with black men in order for them to really understand. And if they haven't had like a traumatic experience, because sometimes they just can't look at social media or look at what's going on in our culture and our society and see it because they got their dads and their brothers and their sons and whoever their coaches or whatever. They have to really go through, and I don't wish this on anybody, but they have to really go through a traumatic experience to shake them out of that nonsense of thinking that, oh, it's just the people that you pick. They really have to, something has to happen out in public, something has to happen outside their family, typically with somebody that they don't know. And they really have to encounter it and then look at how the black males responds to what happens. It has to be something traumatic to shake her out of that. Because unless they've had a traumatic experience, a lot of them just can't see what like me or you could see in terms of social media, in terms of our culture, in terms of our community. They just can't see it. They're completely oblivious to it.
That's really scary to me because it's just like, and I definitely think you have a point, but I just feel like that's so scary then. Because like you're literally living in an unsafe place of delusion.
They're living in a bubble. Absolutely. They're living in a bubble. And they have to encounter that deranged BLK male who's just off his rocker in order for her to just get it. And then not only that, she has to witness how the dudes that she knows personally, how they respond to it. Because it's not going to be real until something like that happens. A lot of them have to be, and it's so crazy because you may know that it has happened to some pygmies on this app who have, moderate size panels. Those dudes went after them and kind of checked them and put them in a position to where their narrative changed.
Yep, I've seen it. I've seen a few of them try to remedy their pick me ways and then go back and fall right back into it. I don't know. I feel like at this point, girl, it's a sickness or an addiction. And I just have no idea how you could.
But you do know most, not all, but most of the black BLK male content creators on this app is involved in some type of scandal or have been. Because it's a big scandal going on with a content creator now who was advocating for BLK women and all that stuff. I'm like, another one bites the dust.
Are y'all talking about what's his? I want to know if you're talking about this guy, even though I never saw any of his content.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Jones.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes,
Yeah.
they had a whistleblower on him, I think maybe a couple of days ago to a week ago. And turns out he is a scammer. He is, essaying women and I mean the whole nine. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And I
And he
did
was a
see him.
big content creator too.
Really? And you know what? When
Hmm.
I see him, because I did see his face when I seen everybody
Yeah,
talking
he's
about
fair
it.
skinned with like green eyes or something like
Yes,
that.
yes, but he looked very sickly and gross looking. Like, you know what I
I don't
mean?
know what. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like his face is kind of hollow. Something's
Yes,
going on
yes,
because he
yes.
was
He looks
he
like
was married.
Skeletor.
He has like all these kids, but then his wife left him, and I'm like, oh, okay. Mm.
Yeah, he looks like Skeletor. And I the thing is that black women sometimes really disappoint me because they still are so male centered that they need
Mhm.
a man to validate their existence. Why in the world do you need a black man to tell you what you already know to be true or tell you what you didn't heard black women say a million different times?
Because that's
And
how they
then
get popular off of black women.
I know. And it's so
Mhm.
anytime I ever try to talk about these black men that I know are grifting or pandering for black women and don't really care, it's a whole bunch of black women that get mad at me, unfollow me. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, why are you hating on our black men that are supporting us and uplifting us? Okay, so you mean to tell me you think that these Negroes, if everyday life, a Negro won't stand up for you, you really think that these Negroes decided one day that they were just going to stand up for black women online, or did they feel like it was a lick to hit? That black, because everybody knows black women are extremely supportive. Contrary to
Hmm.
what people say, black women are extremely loving. If they like you, they will support you with their dollars, their uplifting and kind words any way that they can. They will. And then black women don't have like a demographic of men to support them or defend them. And so many women yearn for that. Black women yearn for that, that they're willing to take it from anybody. But the problem is that that makes you an easy target. And that's why these men over and over and over again get over. Like even I still see black women following what's that guy's name? Mike the Voice. And there was
Yeah.
allegations of all type of stuff that he was doing.
They had a lot of stuff. But see, here's the thing about Mr. Jones, because he went after Moses, he went after Guru, he went after all of those dudes. And I'm like, y'all in the same group. In the
Wow.
world you because I mean that's he Guru played that snippet of him, because Guru was asking stupid questions like, oh, how come these women don't want to get married? And Jones was like, they tired. I mean, he really positioned himself like he was a different dude. And I'm like, how you going after the most misogynistic dudes on this app, but you one of them? You cut from the same cloth that Moses and Guru cut from. And that's the part that tripped me out. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
I'm not even gonna get too messy, but I believe that. And if anybody's listening to this, whoever you think I'm talking about, yeah, I'm talking about them too. I think every man that is popular on this app that positions himself to talk about black women's issues, even if they don't center black women fully, but if they center black women a lot, they talk about black women a lot, they have a lot of black women mods, or they're strictly say that they're protecting black women. They are full of garbage and cannot be trusted. And they are definitely grifting and pandering to you. For sure. That's how I
Yeah,
feel
I
about
can
all
believe
of
it.
it.
I mean, because all of them falling off like flies, it nothing surprised me. Jones didn't surprise me at all. It's like they're falling off like flies. It was crazy.
And you know what? It'll continue to happen. It'll continue to happen. And like I said, a lot of it continues to happen with black women's encouragement and insistence, because assistance. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I was on my one of my backup pages because my main page is blocked until tomorrow. And I see all of these women on this live panel, and I've seen women that be in my lives underneath this live panel with Moses, Saul, and all these other dudes that are extremely problematic.
How Moses still got a platform on this app is beyond me.
Girl, I do not know. I find him so absolutely repulsive. Like
That dude is demonic, bro. I'm
he
telling
is
you.
so disgusting. Like I watched him in a live talk about the fact that he would talk to someone 18 because they are easy to manipulate. He was like, manipulation doesn't have to be bad. Yes, I will manipulate her to do exactly what I want her to do, and said it like that was a bar. Said it like that was like something that wasn't absolutely disgusting.
Nothing. This was Moses.
Yes.
Nothing he said surprised me. Back in what I think it had to be 21, because I've been on this app for a long time. When he said that he was gonna go pick somebody up at the airport, and if she don't give him top on the way down the highway, he was gonna drop her off in the middle of the highway, and she wouldn't know where she was because she in a new city, and that she'll just have to figure her way out. When he said that, I was like, "Oh yeah, you should not even be on this app. You a predator. You a whole predator."
Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. But
Yeah.
I still find it to be crazy that any woman would give that man any type of attention. But there are so many women that do. And every time I see him talking to him, I just break inside. I
Every
just be
time,
like,
if
y'all
somebody,
really?
if somebody is, if I ever see anything from him, his panels, I block them and I block the people on the panel because I'm like, I don't want that in my algorithm. I don't even want nobody showing me his live. I don't want to see it.
I totally understand. I've done the same thing. I would just happen to be on my backup, but I definitely understand. I've seen women in other men's lives that, like I just said, because I don't trust none of the ones that be on here. I seen them in their lives, giving them money, sending gifts and stuff. I just
Hmm.
automatically block
They
them. I
give
just be like, you gotta
bitcoins.
go.
It's
And
crazy. And
Yeah.
they like to say they like to entertain them because they just want to be able to counter their arguments. But I'm like, all attention is not a good attention, and some of these dudes really need to be starved out. They really do.
I definitely agree. I seen one of my people that be in my lives was on the live with Saul and was talking about how he was attractive. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you talking to this man like this? Do
I
you not
honestly
know that
think
he has scum?
I think Saw is mentally ill.
He
I
is
honestly do.
mentally
I
ill.
think he's mentally ill, and I think that boy need to go downtown to see if he can get him a check because he's mentally disabled. He no seriously, he need to go get him a check because something's not right about that dude. I think he uses his whatever looks he thinks he has because he's not my type, but whatever looks they telling him he has, I think he uses that to move in this space. But at the end of the day, that dude is unhinged. He is not well in the head. Something's off with that dude.
I feel the exact same way. The exact same way. Even what you said about his looks, like not my cup of tea at all. And I'm
Right.
so mad that these women be gassing this man
They
up.
hype him up. They really do.
It makes me so mad that
But
they
his mental
gassing him up.
illness takes away from his looks or any looks he think he have. That man got problem.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, if you realize a man is scum, like how in the world could you still find him attractive anyway? Like, wouldn't that make you think that he's ugly from that point moving forward? The
I
fact
mean,
that
it's
you
like
know,
every trigger, everywhere he go, every panel he gets on, he crashes out. That dude screaming to the top of his lungs. It's almost like he foaming at the mouth. I'm like, dude, you need help. Like you need, I don't know, they need to put you on some electric radiation or something. They need to give you some treatments. They need to tie you down. Like something's off with you. He's crazy. That dude, he'll just start talking normally, and then all of a sudden he just starts screaming to the top of his lungs. I'm like, yeah, something you need to go outside and do some push-ups, nigga. Something wrong with you. You you got issues, bro.
I definitely agree. I really do. And it's, you know who else also makes me mad? It's like the men that come up and they do these fake live panels where they act like they're just trying to ask a question or be unbiased about it, but you can tell that it's
I
really
know who
meant to
you
be.
talking about. I know it's like a middle-aged guy. He's like a darker skinned, middle-aged
Yes.
dude. Him. I don't know his name,
Yes.
but I know exactly who. I'm like, why is he posing all these questions? It's like, dude, it's obvious that don't nobody want you. It's obvious that you can't get anybody in real life, and you sit up here asking all these questions, trying to find a blockhead to target.
Yeah.
Get off my For You page. Like I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yep, and he always doing it, and he always I like it was one time because I was like, when is this man just gonna come out and tell everybody that he hate black women? You know what
Pretty
I mean?
much.
Like, and I saw him; he was on there, and it was like a whole bunch of problematic dudes that was on there, and he started talking badly about black women. I was like, I knew it. I was just waiting for him
Cause
to
it
do it.
always leads to that. It'll start off one way and then all of a sudden it's just full blown bash session. I'm like, okay. At this point, I mean, y'all hate a group of women that never wanted you in the first place. So that's okay. Well, I mean, where we going with this?
Exactly, exactly. Because it's like, sir, you should be eating your fiber and things like that, but you over here making all these stupid lives, and it's like don't nobody want you, and nobody is going to want you, and that's why you so miserable, and you an older man. This should
But
be your
triggered,
time.
but you know what they trying to do though. I think every male who hates black women on this app, they all trying to be the next KS. They all trying to get that seat because nobody has that seat. Nobody has that seat since he been put in the dirt. So it's almost like they trying to figure out. It's like a Game of Thrones with these dudes. They trying to be the next KS. That's really what they trying to do.
You know what, you probably are right about that. I know Black Guru definitely was trying.
He wanted the spot so bad, but
he
they
don't
all
he
trying
don't
to take Kevin Samuel's seat. They want it, and
he too
nobody's on
lame.
it, but
He
they
too
trying to
lame.
get it.
He too lame to get it. Like I can't. Anybody that will listen to Black Guru on any level for any type of advice is a complete dummy. Like I can't. Why would you listen to that man? I wouldn't even listen to that man if he told
He
me
don't
what the
even
weather
sound
was.
like he's smart. He
No.
sound like he sound like he watched too much corn and it's messed up his mind, and he just start reciting some stuff that he done seen on the movies he watched at 8 years old. Like, dude, come on.
Yes, I totally agree. And he always got something to say. Always trying to shame women for not having nobody as he sit there in his house on by his own.
That's his only narrative. You don't have nobody. And I'm like, dude, you got to fly to a third world country to get somebody to talk to you. Really? Do you really think you flexing? You have to fly all around the damn world when it's women that you screaming at rejecting people in their DMs daily. You got to get on a flight and fly to a third world country where you don't speak the language, don't know anything about the landscape, and you got to walk up and down dirt roads to find somebody to talk to you. Really? You really think somebody care about what you have to say? If any dude have to get on a plane and fly to a third world country just to get somebody to talk to you, I already won. So there's no need of me even responding to any stupid thing that you have to say about me or any other black woman. Cause I reject people for fun. You got to fly to another country to get a date. You lose.
That is definitely facts. And you forgot, sis, he got to pay for it too out there. He ain't even getting it for the free. He gotta open his wallet up. He gotta pay them.
I mean, if they want to fly to another country and eat some goop scoop, that's on them. I don't really care. I really don't. I don't see how they're relevant. I really don't. And I understand that a lot of women get upset. They get very triggered by the things that these dudes say. But it's like, if you sit back and think about it, it's like, dude, you're a nobody. Nobody wanted you in high school. Nobody wants you now. And don't nobody want you in that third world country. The only reason why she getting money from you is so she can build a water well in her village. She don't care about you. Please. These dudes, it's like what they say means nothing. You have to fly to another country to get somebody to talk to you. Like, why would I care about anything you have to say after that?
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think they have this idea of like this self-inflated or this inflated sense of self-worth. And I don't know where it's coming from. Because I have yet to see a passport bro or red pill dude, any of these weirdos that be on TikTok, yet to see a handsome, attractive man that's nice, that gets women, that's acting like this. I've yet to see it. So
And
I
you won't see it because it's all a fairy tale in their head.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I just feel like, a lot of it is projection. And they really do want somebody, but they want to shame black women into settling for less, which means settling for them.
But you know what triggered? If the passport bros or whoever, it don't even just have to be the passport bros. It could be the dudes on this app that hates black women. If they never said black women, if they never mentioned black women, if they never tried to get our attention with their antics, if they were to walk away quietly, we would never notice them. And
Exactly.
they try to scream and get our attention and then turn around and say we mad. But I'm like, I'm trying to point this out. If y'all stop talking about black women, we wouldn't pay attention to, we would never even notice that you're gone. If half of them, a third of them, or whatever percentage were to get on a flight right now and go to a third world country and never come back, we wouldn't miss them. We would just know that it's easier to go to the gas station. It's easier to hang out at public events. We would just notice a ease socially, but we wouldn't look for them. The only reason why they keep referencing us and saying, hey, look, we getting on a flight. Hey, look, we over here with back.
You there? You there, PG 1908? I think she might have got a phone call. Because she went out. But what she was saying, all we know is her bars. You there, PG 1908?
Yeah. Did you
Okay,
hear
yeah,
me? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, you went out a little bit.
Oh,
But
okay.
you were talking about how, we wouldn't care if they were gone, like at that
Right. We
gas station
wouldn't.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, they only want to reference black women because they want our attention. But if they were just gonna go ahead with their mission of flying away, we wouldn't notice.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. And I think that if they would just stop talking about black women badly, I know me personally, I would never mention them at all if they would not talk about black women and not bash black women if they were just silenced.
Somebody said in the
That's yeah.
comments, how come they not asking YT women to look at them? Because YT women, YT women don't have to look at them. YT women got their own culture of men to look at.
I just feel like I don't think that this whole thing will ever stop, because I think that deep down inside these men, are upset that they're not able to attract the black women that they actually want. They're not able to do that. So they would rather, shame every black woman, in my opinion, to make themselves feel better by not being chosen, if that makes any sense. That's what I think it all
Yeah.
boils down to.
But see, here's the thing, though, Trigger. They shame a certain type. They shame a certain category. They always shame the black women who twerking on the hood of the car. And if you notice, every time they say, I have to give a woman guidance, I have to have control over her, it always goes to what she's wearing. They never say, I have to control her over her finances. I have to control her over whatever. It's always about her look, what she's wearing. And I'm like, so y'all talking about women who don't know how to dress. So you're not talking about anybody over the age of 35. You're not talking about somebody who get up and go to work every day, someone who makes a certain amount of money so they know how to dress because they're in certain workspaces. Y'all talking about somebody who hanging out in the middle of the night. You talking about somebody under the age of 30. That's what it sounds like, because their conversations never go in the direction of mature women who got their life together. Their conversation never goes in the direction of beautiful IG models, because we already know what the IG model wants. So those are the two categories that they never discuss. They never discuss that baddie on Instagram, and they never discuss the woman who has her life together, because they can't get into those two groups. And I think that's what they mad about.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that has a part to do with it as well. I definitely agree. The mellow in the comments, you said, what kind of men are you ladies used to dealing with? Sheesh, the black man bashing is insane. I really wish that y'all would stop, like, when y'all hear somebody speaking, y'all stop acting like it's bashing, because I can promise you that you don't believe it's bashing when you go in lives and you hear people calling black women everything but a child of God, and talking about everything that they do from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. I can guarantee you that you don't be anywhere saying, "Oh my goodness, why is this black woman bashing going on in here, fellas? Y'all got to stop that. What's going on?" Nobody said anything that was bashing. PG 1908 says something that is definitely accurate. So I'm confused. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted, at what you mean by that. And I always feel like it's a throwaway, because y'all want to say whatever y'all want to say about black women, but anytime anybody say anything about y'all, then it's all of a sudden bashing, and it needs to stop. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, sir. Like, do you have an answer to that? I'm sure that you don't, though. But anyway, like I said, I think that in order for us to really, I know that it's so many people that just we just have washed hey, how you doing, Special K? Wash their hands, but I still feel like black women have to have some type of concern about the road that black men are going down. You know what I'm saying? What type of road they're going down, because black men are still in proximity to black women. So in proximity to black women. So somehow some of the choices that they make regarding their mental state will rub off on other black women. Also, the fact that there are still a lot of black women that's friends with them still in their community. And so there has to be some type of talk about how to get them to be more, emotionally regulated, sexually regulated. Now, of course, I don't think that we as black women can do it. I don't think it's our responsibility to do it. But I do think that, like, maybe we can help coordinate. No, I don't think that we can help coordinate. I'm
Trigger,
just
do you
saying,
want
but
to talk to D Mello? He said he want to debate if he have. I'm willing to take a couple of rounds if he's not ignorant.
okay,
If he
yeah, yeah,
requests
yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah,
I'll
sure.
go a couple of rounds if he's not. If he's ignorant, then I'm done.
Yeah, I feel the same way. PG 9208. I 1908. I sent him a request. So same way. PG 9208. I 1908. I sent him a request. So yeah, we can definitely debate. I mean, yeah, like, as long as you're respectful, it's cool, and you don't interrupt anybody. Yeah, you there? Go ahead. What did you have to say, sir? You there? Yeah.
Okay. So I think some of the information that was shared is kind of hit and miss. So with regards of I think 1908 mentioned that some of the with the men. Hold on, let me get this right because I don't want to misquote you. You were saying that some of the men are referring to the women that are under the age of 35. It seems that what was said in this live, you're referring to the men that are under 35. All the guys in front of the gas station, the guys who have something to refer to the ladies of what they wear. All of those guys, they're young and immature. Most guys over 35, I'm 43. Most of the guys in my friend group, we are nothing like that. So, I mean, all black men are not a monolith. And I'll say that to the high heavens. The thing is that truthfully, there's no such thing as a perfect individual, a perfect group. There's no perfect template of how people are supposed to be, as long as they're respectful. I don't see a lot of black women bashing on social media, but I do see a lot of black men bashing. And I'm using the word bashing in terms of, I mean, in essence, we're supposed to be lifting each other up. We all that we have. In recent times, this has shown, if anything, we have no allies. We have each other. So, I mean, we're all we have. Conversations like this, it doesn't make anything better. When we're talking about a black man got on the airplane and left and nobody would notice, people would notice. Because believe it or not, whether you think so or not, black men make things move just like black women make things move. Like we have to stop the going against each other. We have to try to figure out ways how we can come together. Cohesive families, building each other up. This doesn't work. This doesn't work for us. This is not good for us. And I'm saying us, black men, black women, this doesn't work well for us. We are all that we have. We have no allies. That's the only thing I wanted to say. Every time I'm on social media and I'm strolling through the posts, I've been seeing a lot of these topics, and it doesn't benefit us. Go ahead.
So you haven't seen any lives where there are black men talking about black women and tearing them to pieces? You haven't seen one single solitary live like that on TikTok?
In recent months, no.
You
However,
okay.
I've seen the same thing, and I mentioned that earlier. I said I've seen the same thing on both sides.
I didn't
I've
hear
seen
you say that you've seen the same
okay.
thing on both sides. You
That,
said you hadn't seen it. You
I
said
said
that
I
you
haven't
only
seen. I
saw
said I
it.
haven't seen it recently, but
Yeah, I
again,
see it every day. And
okay,
it's on here often. And a lot of men that are extremely popular on here with, thousands upon thousands of followers have built their platforms on bashing black women. And I wanted to address a few points that you made. You mentioned
okay,
like the older men above 35. That is grossly untrue. A lot of the passport bro population that has the majority of the horrible things to say about black women are older men above the age of 35. There's a man on here. His name is like Big Papa something. He's really popular with Passport Bros. That man is at least 60 something. And he's always everywhere talking about black women and how bad they are and how he's going overseas to purchase punani. There's another man on here named Charles Brooks. He's also an older man. And it's a bajillion other older men that are doing that. And not only are they doing that, but they're also influencing the younger men. And you mentioned that we're all we have. I didn't know if you were talking about like black women and black men, that it's all we
that's
have,
what I was
or
referring to.
if you're talking about like black men have each other. I didn't quite understand what you meant about like black men have each other. I didn't quite understand what you meant by that, but I have two things to counter that with. But I don't know if you're talking about when you said that we're all we have or we're allies. Are you talking about black men stick together or
If you don't mind, let me touch on something. So,
well, no, I just wanted to respond to your things before
okay,
I forget.
And
okay,
before you move to your next point, DeMello, I had some things to ask you about what you stated.
okay, shoot.
Okay, so I'll say this response to you, and then I'll let PG 1908 go. I just wanted to say, like, at what point has it ever been, at least recently in my generation or my mom's generation, or maybe even my grandmother's generation, where black women have had this like extreme protection, and working relationship with black men? I don't know where. Like Malcolm X said in the what was that, the 1960s, early 1960s, that black women were the most unprotected and disrespected. And it was common knowledge that black women were being disrespected not only by the men in their community but also men on the outside. And none of that has changed. There are so many different things, documentaries that you can prove like legitimately with facts that black women were having a lot of the same issues that they're having with black men right now, where there was no type of allyship. The a lot of black men preferred to make their allyship with other races of women and not black women. Not to mention, no one ever talks about the issue of black femicide, that black women are the most unalived race of women in the United States. And over 95% of the time it's at the hands of a black man. So I'm confused as to where this allyship of black men and their extreme support of black women and their defense. Like literally everyone knows that black women are the only demographic that is completely unprotected as a collective. Of course, that is not for every single solitary black man. I'm married. My husband is definitely a protector, but I am aware enough to know that he is an exception rather than the rule. So it's like, what facts can you base that by? Because in the community, a lot of things regarding black women were not prized. And not to mention that black men are the least married race of man, don't value marriage, don't value partnership, and the numbers back all of those things up. So it's like I really not here to make a fantasy when things are obviously not that way. But you can go ahead, PG 1908. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. B Mello said that black women are always bashing black men.
I didn't
Here's my
say that.
issue.
I didn't say
Okay,
that.
I didn't interrupt you, D
Okay,
Mello,
go
so
ahead.
let
I'm
me
sorry.
finish.
I go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
Black men are going to have to get to a place to where they can hear truth instead of thinking that every time someone says something that doesn't pacify your ego, that you're being bashed. I'm not here to pacify egos. I'm not concerned about egos. I'm concerned about telling the truth. The truth is the passport, bro, and you may not be a part of that movement. That's immaterial to me. But the fact that they keep referencing black women when they say that they're going to third world countries to find wives, that is a fact. When they say that they always want to check someone based on their outfit, that is a fact. They never have any solid proof as to why they have to have all this control and why they feel they need to give all of this guidance and all of this direction, because it's the caliber of women that their narratives are targeting. That's not bashing black men. That is fact. Now, in regards to your point about you saying that we need to come together as a family, that's really interesting because families is something that has to be built with people who have like mind and they're going in the same direction. Based on the narratives on this app, black men do not have a come together mindset. They have a mindset of control. They have a mindset of you need to do what I say, you need to listen to me, you need to jump on one leg, bark like a dog, and make noise like an orangutan when I tell you to. It's not about a relationship. And to add insult to injury, most of the men on this app telling women about nuclear families are already married. They spend 5 and 6 hours a day, probably more than 5 or 6 hours, 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, married men telling single women that they need to get their lives together or wear different outfits. If you are so concerned about the nuclear family, why are you the number, not you, but just why are these males the number one component in that family unit that contributes the least? The married single mother is a real thing. They have to go to work, pay half the bills, contribute to all of the duties of the household, and take on 100% of the responsibility of the children. So if black men are going to push nuclear family, then maybe they should also push being a bigger part of the nuclear family that you're asking for. And not only that, get off of TikTok and go be a husband. Stop hanging out in strip clubs. Stop hanging out in church parking lots trying to holler at people. Get off Instagram, get out people's DM and go in there and be a husband if you're going to push nuclear family. I land.
Okay. And so, in my opinion, building a family takes two. So one of the things that I think that social media has done in general, I think it's painted a really funky picture, because there's no perfect template of how a family goes. It's no special template of how my household is run, how yours is run, or anyone else on this live right now. The biggest thing that I've seen on social media is this whole topic of discussion of 50-50 and who should pay all the bills and all of that other stuff. What works for your household works for your household. And social media has sold a horrible lie, because shit, everybody's on social media rich. I mean, if you look, nobody's struggling on social media. So it's a fantasy. I come to social media just for entertainment, a good laugh, but it's not my reality. But unfortunately, for most, it is their reality. And these are the things, the people that you named, I've never heard of these guys, but if they have a huge following, that means somebody's listening to them and they believe it. And their lives can be totally different outside of social media. I mean, these guys could say, I'm flying to Colombia to go kick it with XYZ chick, and deep down they're going to Baltimore to get a fish sandwich. I don't know. But I mean, it's social media. We have to get past the social media stuff too. Now, just to touch on a couple of things that were brought up, in terms of the older guy thing. There are some older guys who that I've seen that have talked about the whole passport thing, and typically what they talk about is most women having these ulterior motives. So women are attracted to money and stability. With these particular guys, they're looking at looks. They're looking for younger women. They're looking for women who don't have children. They're looking for women who are not coming with baggage. That's their preference. We can't get upset with their preference. They're looking for women who they describe as being fit.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and interject right there. Because I don't want any type of false narratives to be spread here. Those men are not. I'm trying to make my point. Yeah, well, you're not going to until I'm finished. It's my life. So as I was saying, that these men are not looking for someone fit, feminine, or friendly, or someone younger without baggage. What they're looking for are 304s or escorts, or women that will allow access to their private areas and nether regions for money. And that man dropped. I did not drop him. He left on his own because I guess
he rage quit.
Yeah, he
wanted to say
quit.
what he wanted to say.
I know he thought he was finna come up here and say a whole bunch of BS. And you notice he started going right into the red pill ideology, because he was exactly the same type of Negro that we was talking about. And it's so
that's why he was triggered. Yep.
Yeah, and it's so irritating when they come up here and they try to act like they're not that type of man. The first thing that I knew that he was full of crap was when he was like, oh, no, I haven't seen any bashing of any black women on here. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I surely have seen people talking about black men. I sure have seen that. I already knew that he was lying and capping at that point, but I just was like, let me go ahead and let this man go ahead and speak so that he can reveal himself that he's full of crap. But let me just make sure I don't forget to say this. These men are not going overseas to find a wife, to find a woman with no kids, to find any baggage, to find a younger woman. They don't have any intentions on paying for these women. Like he talked about something about how women respect money. All of these men that are going to Colombia and Medellin and all of these places, they don't have any money. They're broke. They're flying on Spirit. They're flying Frontier. They don't have any money. Do you know how many passport bro groups that I lurk in under a male profile? I'm making a video about this today. I just got to edit it. I'm going to put it up for release tomorrow. I got a whole bunch of messages from a group that I'm in of men talking about how much money do they need? How much money do they need? How much is it going to cost them so that they can get the bad chicks? They want the 9s and the 10s. But one dude was like, I'll settle for a 5 or 6 if I can't afford the 9 or the 10 and all of this other type of thing. They're going over there to have intercourse with these women and they're flying right back home. There's a whole video that I'm about to include of a guy that went on some type of trip with one of his friends. I think he was G though, and he was saying how embarrassed he was when he saw that he had to wait 2 hours in the immigration line to get into Colombia because it was packed with black men. He said that all the black
that
men
flight
that
coming
he
out
saw,
of Philadelphia. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that they were downloading Tinder and all of these hookup apps. So please stop the game. These men are not coming there for wives. They are coming there because that's a place where they feel like they can afford a woman because they don't have any money. So this whole idea that all of these rich, old, handsome dudes are over there trying to find a beautiful woman that's going to take care of them and they're going to wife her up and they're going to bring her back here and they're going to be so faithful and be such a good husband. Lies, 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 and more lies and delusion. And that's exactly why that man left, because what I said irritated his spirit, because he still felt like because he's a man, because he came up here, that we were supposed to just stop, drop, and listen to everything that he had to say. And that's crazy to me. And I never trust people that use the whole social media isn't real, it isn't representative of what's going on in reality, as if people that you're talking to on lives are not real people with real lives and real existences, that they don't, when they shut off the app, they don't go out in the real world and take that negativity and those thought processes out to real people. It's the same reason why that white T guy was on 4chan sharing stuff with other dudes, being mad, being an incel about Asian girls, and then decided to go into a massage parlor and unalive a whole bunch of Asian women that did nothing to him because he was wrapped up into what? Social media. So, like, y'all got to stop acting like social media doesn't have an effect on men. It doesn't have an effect on people. And that all of these weirdos that you talk to every day are not in your real life. That there aren't a million black women or even other races of women as well that will tell you that they have went on dates with men, and that men have parroted the same red pill ideology that you hear on TikTok or you hear on Facebook or you hear on Instagram or you hear on Twitter to their faces. So, like, stop that. Stop that. It's just crazy. And that man, like I said, he left because he had no real response for nothing that PG 1908 said.
No, he couldn't attack what I had to say. He couldn't attack what I had to say at all. That's why he had to go around and start talking about red pill. Because he couldn't attack the fact that there are men on this app who are married and they don't value nuclear family. And he never did address why he interprets truth from a black woman as bashing. He couldn't address either one of those.
Nope. And he was never going to be able to, because he only came up here under a false pretense. That's really what he came up here to do. And that's the reason why I interjected, because it's like you just want to get out that, these men are going overseas and nobody cares. Nobody cares if these men, think that they're trying to go, that the women, you think the women over here have baggage. Like, it's crazy when men use that type of ideology, because if you say a single mother has baggage because she has a child, what does that make a man? A woman doesn't get pregnant on her own. So does he have baggage? This whole
These
double
these
standard
males
is
think
crazy.
you have baggage just because you don't want to date them. They call that
Mhm.
baggage.
Exactly. It's really, like I said, it's real crazy. And it's like, just how when he came up and was like, oh no, the older men, we're not doing that. Okay, he said he was 43. He was a big goofy. He be listening to this red pill stuff just like the rest of these old Negroes, old over the hill bums that are hoping one day they'll be able to go to Colombia and purchase a girl that's 18 and bring her back, and then have her be their slave and treat her bad and okey doke them to where she doesn't have any control or autonomy over herself. Because at the end of the day, that's the problem. I don't know what type of like fascination that the collective of black men have with control and domination, you know what I'm saying, over women. But it's insane. If you want to have some control or you want to have some power, then you need to try to take it from the white T-men that have been oppressing you, that brought you over here. But you're too scared to do that because you don't want to be unalive. You don't want to disrupt the comfort of your life. You don't want to be a strong man. You don't want to be a warrior. You want to just sit there and blame everything on black women. And you want to take the weakest demographic that you think you can do, which are black women, and do something to them. Or now that black women have started to get more of a voice, now you want to try to go overseas to where women have no power and see if you can go ahead and do something to them. And the majority of the men don't even want to do that to them. They just want to have intercourse with these girls and leave them. And it's crazy because the STD rates over there are very high, and these men don't even care. So they're gonna come back here and with dirty peens, and who knows who they're gonna spread it to. It's just
Those
absolutely
governments are
ridiculous.
creating regulations to try to keep those men out. They are now having to go back to their books, go back to their laws, to rewrite the laws, restructure it to put a handle on how these dudes are coming to their countries and completely ruining their social infrastructure. They're trying to get all that stuff reconstructed. And it's sad. It's sad because they leave degeneracy everywhere they go. If they go to another race, it's degenerate. They leave there with degeneracy. They go to another country, they leave degeneracy. They've left degeneracy all throughout our community, everywhere they go. And it's so sad. Like I said, I'm always going to stand on this point. Every time a Black woman tells the truth, they always want to interpret it as bashing. But at the end of the day, we can all clearly see, because what I wanted to get into with this idiot was the fact that Black women, there's a growing number. It's small now, but it is a growing number of Black women who are simply opting out. We are saying we do not want to date. We do not want to get married. We are not interested. We are so completely repulsed and turned off by Black male behavior to where these dudes have not been able to be successful in education. They have not been able to be successful in politics. They have not been successful in health. They have not been successful in arts. The only thing they have been able to successfully do is be athletes and turn Black women off. They have been able to accomplish those two things.
Yeah. And also what I was gonna say is when you were talking about like degeneracy everywhere they go, I don't know if anybody knows this. I put it in one of my old videos, but in Amsterdam, where they have like the red light district and all of that, they were trying to ban Black American men from coming, because that they were wilding out there and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And they also were trying to put rules in place over there in Colombia as well for the behavior of Black men that were coming there as well. So it's like, they want to come over there and grab up on them women, treat them women bogus. And I don't think that this is something that's talked about either. But and if y'all don't believe me, y'all can fact check me. There are plenty of studies done that a lot of escorts or 304s or whatever word. I would just use another word, but I don't think I could use it on TikTok. So I'll just say ex workers. A lot of ex workers of all races, including Black women, do not like to service Black men because they say that Black men don't like to pay. Black men like to barter on the price, and Black men get more violent than other races of men upon finishing, say, oh, I'm not going to pay you nothing. Oh, you about to do this, that, and the third. And that is like literally everywhere. Like if you can look at documentaries and find it out, you can look at a whole bunch of like little peer studies online. They talk about it. It's everywhere. That I watched some big creator that's on YouTube. He got like 1 million subscribers, and he interviews like people from the streets. And it was a white tea girl that was on there that was on, rugs, and she was clearly, out there, and she was talking about how she said the only people she won't service are Black men. And she didn't even say it like she was racist. She was just like, nah, too many things have happened to me from them. They beat me. They haven't paid me. They okey doke me and brought another man in and made me. They okey doke me and brought another man in and made me do that and still didn't pay me. I saw another documentary where they were interviewing all of these ex-workers, and they were in the back of the car, and they were saying how they do, because he was asking them like what's the day in the life and like what type of clients they have and what type of clients they don't have. And it was a white tea girl in there and it was a Black girl in there, and they were like, yeah, we don't service Black men. It's just too risky. It's just too risky. And like when these things get said, it's like people act like it's hating. Like people act like, you're hating on Black men. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you the truth that a lot of people see that there's a problem with your behavior. And as much as Black men want to talk about wigs and weaves and lashes, don't nobody dislike Black women other than anti-Blackness, and racism. But we not going nowhere where people say you can't come here because y'all don't know how to act, or you not gonna pay, or you unaliving people, or if you go to a party, black women are pulling out blicks and pew-pewing everybody, or when you driving down the street, black women are rolling down on you and saying, get out the car, give me your stuff, give me your money, or breaking into your home and tying you up and taking everything. Black women aren't doing that. So it's like there is a problem with y'all, but y'all refuse to accept it and acknowledge it. The fact that y'all are unaliving yourselves, each other, and us, that's on high levels. That should mean something, but y'all never listen to it. Y'all never say, hey, you know what? Maybe they got a point, because these numbers look crazy. Oh, the black women's incarceration rates have dropped consistently down to down, down. The black women's incarceration rates are even lower than white women's. But y'all still keep going and going. No, it's like, y'all know, y'all don't ever address any of these things. Y'all just call it bashing. When it's not bashing, it's reality. And until you accept the reality of the situation, there can be no improvement, because you don't see a problem. So if you never acknowledge that there's a problem with black men and the way they behave, how can it ever be fixed? That's all I'm saying. I wish that we could start there.
The birth rates have dropped for Black women too, especially
Yep.
those that are under the age of 25, completely dropped. I mean, like I said before, we can all see who the culprit is in our community, who the culprit is in our community. And the reason why they don't grow as a collective of males is for that very simple premise. Everything you say to them is bashing. They never want to see the truth. They never want to hear the truth, and they never want to be better. And that pretty much is why they're always thinking that if I get some money, I can do what I want, because they want to get as far away from what I want, because they want to get as far away from accountability as they possibly can. So what you'll have is a rich little idiot who's thinking that because he has money, he can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to have character. He doesn't have to have integrity. He doesn't have to have morals. He doesn't have to be a good person. All he has to do is have money. And as much money as he has, the more he gets, he can pad himself from being an accountable good person. This is why they're never going to win, Trigger. They're never going to be on top. They're never going to win. They're never going to have peace. And to any idiot who is crazy enough to link herself to such a caliber of men, she is going to suffer the consequences as well.
Okay, definitely agree, PG 1908. I'm gonna let Dapper Dan speak, but I want to say this first. Dapper Dan in the comments said that black women are the most least desired group of women, and you guys say this a lot as if there is something on the flip side of that, as if black men are the most desired. You have black men that sit there and complain about being, oppressed and racism, and you're afraid of the police and people doing things to y'all, and that it's so hard as a black man because everybody is always doing things to you, talking about you, being racist and discriminatory to you. That doesn't sound like you're desirable at all. That sounds like people don't like you either. And I think that a lot of times, for some reason, self-hating black men feel like anti-blackness only applies to black women, but not their black behinds. And then they like to use this whole thing where they talk about how black women aren't desired, when they use that, like the studies from the dating apps, that, black women were the least responded to. But when you hear that, black men never tell you the dirty secret on the other side of that black men were the least responded to as well. The only reason why black women were a little bit underneath black men was because black women responded to black men the most. However, black men responded to other races of women the most. So no, and the most prized or the most responded to was the white man. The majority of the other races of women ignored you too, black man. You are also the least desired. No one desires you either. You're the poorest man, the least educated man, the least working man, and the least married man. So in what world do you feel like you're better or more superior to black women? That's what's crazy to me, is that oftentimes y'all live in a really huge state of delusion about where you are in the hierarchy. Do you think that women that are rich and in positions of power, that is a big powerful CEO, white tea woman, or a white tea woman that comes from old money, is looking for a black man to marry? You think that? You think that's what her family wants? Oh, yes, bring that black man home. That's what you think? Like, that's the delusion that I'm talking about. Anti-blackness applies to both of us. That's number one. And number two, you cannot be the most desired and also have it so hard as a black man. So choose, which is it? Are you afraid of the police? Are the police knocking your head in? Are the police unaliving you? Do you have it so hard and so hard? Is that the reason why you're broke? Is that the reason why the collective of black men don't have any money? Because it's so hard and difficult? Or is it because you're the most desired? Make it make sense. Please let me know.
You triggered. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not triggered. Baby, don't see. That's what I'm saying. Now, when you started off like that, that's how you make it to where I'm gonna get crazy with you, because I'm not triggered, sir.
He
Why
wants
would
to
I be triggered?
antagonize.
Why would I be triggered by a man that don't have a lick of hair on his head? You can't use a brush. You can't wear a do-rag. You can't get locks. You can't get waves. You can't get a credit cut. You can't get a lineup. You can't do nothing. You don't have a lick of freaking hair on your head. My husband has a beautiful full head of hair on his head. Why in the world would I be triggered about what a baldy got to say? Make it make sense. Please. Please.
Bald head is going
His brain smooth
Come on
just like his
now.
head.
You ain't got a drop of hair on your head. God didn't smite at you because you got a nasty attitude. That's why all your hair fell off in the shower.
Talking about black women were least desired.
Exactly. That's why
What number did black men come in? What number did black men? What place was their
exactly.
rank
They
in?
were at
What
the
place?
bottom.
They were at the
bottom.
damn bottom.
They were at
Black
the
men
bottom.
were not one. Black men were not two. But y'all constantly focused on black women.
May I interject?
Go ahead, sis. But I'm just saying that's the reason why all your hair. That's the reason why all your hair fell off in the shower. That's the reason why. That's the reason why every bit of your hair fell out in the shower and fell out in your brushes.
And he's single. No one wants him. He has to fly to a third world country to get a date, and they still don't want him.
And still don't want you.
Black women know. That's the problem.
Okay.
But nobody wants you. You're turned down by the least desired. You're a loser.
I don't want to hear nothing until I find out why you don't got no hair.
Okay, Techie Dom, please allow me to interject, okay?
Go ahead, sis.
All right. So as y'all see right here, I don't know if y'all can see it too well, but I found the reply rates from male senders, and as you can see here, black male, white Asian women don't want to deal with y'all. Black women, okay, we some of them want to deal with y'all. Hispanic, Latino women don't want to deal with y'all. Indian women don't want to deal with y'all. Middle Eastern women don't want to deal with y'all. Native American, okay, they a little desperate, whatever. Other women, 24, don't want to deal with y'all. Pacific Islander, 25, this is red, don't want to deal with y'all. The wheat women that y'all love so much don't want to deal with y'all. However, if you look on the black women's side, 41, 40, 40, 41, 41. Middle Eastern men, 40, 40. So Middle Eastern men wants to deal with us. Native American men, from my experience, yeah, they want to deal with us. they just want to deal with us. And other You're the lead.
do not want to deal with us. I mean, do want to deal with us. So with that being said, according to these charts, black men are technically the least desirable men.
They've always been the least desired.
Dapper Dan doesn't want to hear reality. Like, that's the reason why he just keeps repeating the same thing.
Yeah, and then plus
he doesn't want to hear
once
reality.
you really think about it, if you look at this whole chart, no other race don't want to deal with men in general. The only man that gets a pass, really, they got more good, like got more marks, are the weak men. However, it's like more middle, like the male sender who's sending this, we get.
So that's what you came up here for, Dapper, just to say that somebody's least desired.
This is 39.
Is that your whole point?
I guess he feels like it's supposed to mean something. PG 1908. It's just like, and I feel like
he's
that's
not
something
saying anything else.
Yes, and I feel like that's something that they got to get.
He's still talking about nobody desire black women.
And you know what?
The
let me just
least
say this.
desired women don't want you. So
And
now
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what they have to get across is that when you look in the mirror and you realize that God has smited you and you don't have any hair on your head and you know that the majority of women do not like you, why would you think that your opinion holds any weight? Because I know an opinion of a man that hair fell off of his head is definitely not going to hold any opinion.
that lady presented. That lady
I'm not
presented
wearing anybody. I
all
don't wear
facts.
weave, baby. So what are you talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. What you want to do is see, that's what I'm saying. What you want to do, you should be wearing somebody else's hair. That's what you should be doing. You should get one of those male units because you look
He
terrible.
hasn't even
So why
presented a
don't you
point.
do that?
What's your point, Dapper?
That's what
Say
I'm saying.
something different.
He
Say
doesn't have a
something
purpose.
different.
He doesn't have anything. What he wants to do is attempt
Caramel
to
presented
try
cold hard
to
facts and
put
he didn't
somebody
even
down.
address
He
it.
doesn't have
He never
anything.
addressed what she said.
He didn't
Okay,
address
but
any
on
of what I
part
said.
two, part two.
Okay, hold on, you guys. Hold on. My husband just came up here. Dapper Dan, I'm gonna let you talk to a man because I believe that's what you really like to hear. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
I don't really want to talk to him. I just want him to shut up. He came up here acting pretty sassy. Like,
sassy.
I never seen a dude come up here and just keep on trying to interrupt and ain't got nothing to say, ain't got nothing intelligent to say, but just opening his mouth. You acting like a little kid right now, bro. Like, how you supposed to be a representation of a man acting like a child? Like, you on the app acting like a real kid because you mad at what somebody's saying to you and you ain't got no rebuttal to it. Like, for real. Like, you need to grow up, homie. You really do. You need to grow up, go look in the mirror, realize that you are not that guy and nobody really likes you. And figure out what you can do to help yourself. Like, real talk. Like, I can't believe you came up here and you acting like this. Like, you really acting like a kid right now, bro. And look at you. You still acting like a kid. That's all you about to do is just act like a child. The whole way through. Like, you really need to figure out what you're going to do with yourself. Real talk.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you, babe. Dapper Dan, you really need some help. You know, you're a miserable man. Okay, I'm sorry. Caramel Mermaid or Peachy 1908. Did y'all have something to say?
Was going to do.
I see level up. Oh yeah, man, this dude is
Look,
such a headache. I want to debate him.
I was doing a part two to some more data that I found. Okay, so pretty much it shows here y'all barely in the negatives on this data back in 2024. 2% of Asian women want to deal with you. 1% of your own kind wanted to deal with you. Less than 2%. And the ones that y'all really love, them snow bunnies that y'all love to call, -6%. They do not want to deal with you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell y'all, and Dark Truth, I am so sorry to say this. Please forgive me. I know you're a married man, but you're a black man. I'm so sorry to say this on your behalf, but yeah, y'all not the most desired man on the planet Earth, and I do apologize.
All right, Caramel Mermaid. All right.
So if you still gonna talk, if you and Level Up still gonna say that we're not the most desired, I'm gonna pull out more data.
I've never said that.
Okay,
So,
well,
you've never heard me say that
Level
on
up
any
is just
panel.
going to talk about
Okay, hold
single
on,
moms, and they all need to
Tacky
go to
Dan.
the
Please
Y'all
gym.
gotta
don't
go
put
He's
words
just
in
going
my
to talk
mouth.
Least
about the
desired.
gym, and single moms are not desired, and
Please
they
don't put
have to
words in
be
my mouth.
a
Hey,
size
Don't put-
level
2.
up. You gotta wait until the ladies are finished. That's
I
how we
said
do
if.
things here.
I said if, but Tacky Dan, that's what your name is going to be going forward. Tacky Dan. If you keep saying the same narrative, I'm going to pull out more statistics that show that you too are least desirable. Y'all right underneath the Asian men.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Dapper Dom, his intention was to like actually have a fact-based conversation. That's the reason why the first thing he said when he got in the live was black women are the least desired. And then when I gave him all the reasons why we would be on the same playing field, he just denied all of that and started talking about hair weaves. Which doesn't make any type of sense. Which always happens. It always happens. Now, I thought that these dudes, God, who was Kevin Samuels, they would be very familiar with sign language, because isn't that what that is? Like, because why are you not attacking the very fact-based points that I made? I could have sworn that men are supposed to be the most logical, correct? And most rational, and also the least emotional. However, I've seen a lot of emotion and a lot of what is it, feminine behavior coming from Dapper Dom, like a lot of feminine behavior. But you disrespected my husband, so we're not going to have a talk until you apologize, because you think I didn't hear what you said. So you can go ahead and say you're sorry to my husband, or you're going to get dropped. I heard it, and he don't pay attention to. I don't pay attention to.
No, I don't know. Remind me.
There's no reason to pay attention to anybody that's. You know what I'm about to do? I'm gonna drop you, Dapper Dom, and send you back to the dusty dungeon that you came from. I'm not playing no games. You know what you said. I know you didn't think your little bald-headed behind was gonna disrespect my husband, and then you was gonna speak. No. How about you do this for the rest of the day? Go in the mirror, go get some floss in between them nasty, disgusting plaque-ridden teeth of yours, then brush your teeth, and then if you have a water pick, which I'm sure that you don't, go get one and do that too. And then make sure that you wash behind your ears, because I know you ain't washed up in the last couple days. But anyway, let me just go ahead here to level up. Go ahead, sir. Just make sure that you keep it cute. Let me give you turn your mic on.
Hey, babe.
Go ahead.
Babe.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say we on the internet, man. You can't take what any of these dudes be saying seriously.
I know, but you know I love you, and I don't
like nobody paying attention to anything that he's saying, because he's not saying anything of any value. He like I said, he a boy. He ain't even grown up enough to even come in here and have an adult conversation. So it's like he ain't even important, man.
All right, babe. Level up. I sent you a request to turn your mic on. I'm not for sure why you haven't. You asked, are we trying to be productive? And this like constant policing of the response of Black women, but never questioning where the response came from, is really, frankly, annoying. It's very tiring to it. You didn't say like, hey, why are you ladies upset? What's going on? Did he say something to you?
I did ask why everybody was upset.
Well, then I'll tell you, he was very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. He was disrespectful. The guy that I just dropped from here, Dapper Dom.
Oh, okay.
He was disrespectful to all of the women here, and also was disrespectful in the comments. So that's the reason why people had a response for him. But you can go ahead. What did you have to say?
I think you changed the. I can barely read the post. So can you make it a little bigger, please?
Let me see. I'm not for sure. Like normally, because this is my backup page, it has a way for me to blow it up, but it's not doing that.
Hold on. Let me. I think my nephew has one of those magnifying glasses. Let me grab one of them. Hold on.
Okay.
Do him like I do my mama. God. 1, why are so many famous Black men, BM, involved in abuse scandals? 2, the community / red pill telling men when they have money, they can do what they want. 3, BM and their obsession with power and control. 4, Lord Jesus. Smokey Robinson hit with the SA allegation.
Yes, hit with four different women today.
Which one would you like to address first, host?
It's up to you.
In terms of red pill, I guess we could discuss that briefly. I recognize that there's people like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate who are what I call fanaticals or fanatics, who have people believing that it's like any other ideology. You're going to have people who take it too far. They move away from the core beliefs, and because they get the most likes or they get the most attention, people start believing that that's what the ideology is. Red pill, quite frankly, is very basic. It's male self-improvement. That's all it is. There's no ideology within the core belief that tells men that because they earn money that they don't have to respect women, that they can engage in SA and all this other stuff that would go against the betterment of women, and that they're going to get away with it. Like no one's ever going to say that. The problem is that you have people within that space, like, and again, this is with any space, whether it's Christianity, Islam, feminism, whatever. You have people that just say egregious shit in the space. They take things too far, And because it's so sensationalized, that's all people see. The core of Red Pill is for men to better themselves, put themselves first, get in shape, become one with their spirituality if they are people of faith. And if they're not, figure out a way to center themselves, build financial independence, and recognize that everything that they've been taught regarding relationships is false. For example, the platitude of happy wife, happy life. That has men destroying themselves to the point of trying to appease a woman who is not reciprocating in the relationship. That's not rational. We tell women.
Are you married? Level up.
Yes, I am, ma'am.
And how long have you been married?
About 8 months.
Okay. I go continue. I was
Yeah. So the bottom. Yeah, I don't want to ramble on because I'm sure other people want to weigh in. The bottom line is that, like I said, with regards to Red Pill, it's been hijacked by a bunch of people who I don't support. And I recognize that these people have put out a bad light. But like I said, the core of Red Pill is just male self-improvement, getting your life together and building yourself up. And Epiphany, unless you live in my neighborhood or you know me personally, I don't know why you think I'm lying. Like, some of you need to get a life, for real.
Okay, so let me say that the core of Red Pill was started by a white man that was extremely misogynistic, extremely disrespectful to women. So the core of Red Pill will always start with the originator of the ideology, which was a white man that was misogynistic. There were plenty of white men that followed right behind him with those same type of ideologies. And that is the reason why it's so pervasive in Red Pill that it attracts men that are upset with women, that are angry with women, that have an axe to grind against women, that are unwanted, undesired, unlovable, overlooked, or men that are so unattractive and so disgusting that they have to go to another place. They have to fly across half of the world to prey on a woman in the third world country to get her to swallow being penetrated by him in hopes for a better life. So I would like to be honest about where Red Pill began. With the white man, and as always, the black man follows behind what the white man has done and what the white man has created, never creating his own, never doing his own thing that would actually be positive. But the most toxic characteristics of white culture is what the black man ascribes to be, and that's a problem because black
Are you pro-life, ma'am?
Please don't interrupt me. Thank you. Let me finish. What was I about to say? He just threw me off. I'll just say that black women are not white women, and black men are not white men. And the way we are as people, our souls, everything about us is different. So following behind them is never going to give you the positive result that you desire. You trying to think that you're going to get a group of women to be your slaves, to be your footstool, to be your mammy and everything else that have endured the exact same circumstances that you have, and sometimes even worse, because not only have we been violated and taken advantage by other races of men, the white man, but also the black man has done it as well. So I can't fathom saying that you're a man that's about self-improvement, or you're about a man being a man and you don't want to be with a woman that's happy wife, happy life, because I'm killing myself. So what's the alternative? That is the man is supposed to be centered, because that's all they ever talk about. So no, you just don't want the woman to be centered, but you want to be centered. But then you want to talk about religion and all of these type of things in Christianity when it says that the husband is supposed to lay his life down for his wife. So that means that she's also supposed to be centered. However, that none of that means anything. All I'm just going to say is at the end of the day, things will never work out for black men ascribing to be somebody when you're following behind another man in what he thought. That's actually weak. Like I can't fathom that type of mentality or behavior. To call yourself the leader, to call yourself the man, to tell women that they need to be led by you and submit to you and listen to what you say when you can't even listen to what you say. You have to follow behind a white man, because that's where Red Pill started. And dare I say, do black men know this? Do y'all research the ideologies that y'all fall into? Do y'all realize the whole idea of the housewife being there and cooking and cleaning and you going to work and all of those things came from the white man, or no? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll start back at the top. Go ahead, PG 1908. Like, if you have something to say.
I mean, so he was like, red pill is for men getting themselves together and men da 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 da. No, men getting themselves together has nothing to do with red pill. Red pill started from the incels, particularly YT incels, dudes who are undesirable, the rejects of society, the dudes who think that a woman's supposed to be at his beck and call and lick his boots and bring him a beer and a plate of food. And when they realized that that portion of patriarchy was not going to be extended to them, when they would not have the patriarchal dream of having a wife slave, they got upset. They got mad, and then they turned to red pill, going to YouTube, coming up with all these ideologies about why women deserve less and why women are the least and all this other stuff, when in reality, they could never get a woman in the first place. And if they could get a woman, it'd probably be somebody on the same social level or social desirability as him, which made him even more mad. But most of these dudes cannot get women, and that's where red pill came from. It has nothing to do with being a better man. That's ridiculous.
It is actually totally ridiculous because, like we were saying earlier, PG 1908, when have you seen a man that is proudly, preaching red pill rhetoric that you wanted to sleep with, that you just saw and you said, oh my goodness, that's a handsome, attractive man. That's a sexy man. There's something about him. Like I've got to have him. I would really like to be with him. Or do you see a whole bunch of unwanted, respectfully, ugly losers that are bad built, that are trying to be in red pill? Or, and if there is, for the small percentage of men that may be halfway decent looking, they always have horrible, horrible souls and personalities, because that is the type of men that type of movement attracts. Men that women don't like. I don't know.
May I respond?
Can I actually?
Yeah, you can respond after Gabrielle. She had to. I brought her up. She
No
wanted
problem.
to say something, and then you can go.
Yeah, thank you so much. I always find it interesting, this conversation about male improvement. It never really focuses on genuine men's issues. Like the conversation, if you listen long enough, always goes back to like taking away women's rights, degrading women, saying we shouldn't vote, or, cosplaying men's issues while making women the scapegoat. So I think it was Dark Truth too. I think it's completely disingenuous for you to say that, oh, red pill is about, men's issues, because I've actually spent the past few years just like quietly lurking in red pill spaces. And, I've seen the stuff they say about women. They preach manipulating women, taking advantage of women, allow them to advocate for violence against women. So the narrative that this is just about, helping men, that's just objectively not true. So yeah, I just thank you for letting me come up, Trigger. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, no problem, sis. Oh, and I did see your comment leveled up where you said about Black women using Planned Parenthood facilities. That all women are using Planned Parenthood facilities and terminating pregnancies. And I would like anyone to know that the abortion statistics are not able to be tracked because they don't track a large portion of abortions. So you never know who's doing what. And if you realize how white people are, then you would realize that if they're doing a lot, they're going to be the number one ones that are not going to record that type of information and that type of data. And you ask me, me personally, I've never had a abortion. Okay. So I don't understand why we're debating something that is not even on the screen. That doesn't make any sense. Like if you're trying to find a way to demonize Black women, it's not going to go here, because that is not causing anything that is destroying the Black community right away. And my thing is that if you were going to address anything like that, you would need to address the reason why Black men unalive each other the most out of all demographics of people. You would need to talk about that. You would also need to talk about why Black women make up 10% of the female population in the United States, yet they make up 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. And 95+% of the time, it's at the hands of a Black man. You would need to talk about why Black men are the least married. You would need to talk about why Black men are the least employed according to the Labor Department. You would need to talk about all of those things before you would talk about abortion. There are way more pressing issues to address that is actually harming and destroying the Black community in real time, other than trying to find something to demonize Black women.
Because it was just to answer your question, ma'am. The only reason why I brought up Planned Parenthood is just to show the irony that it was founded by a racist, yet Black.
We all know that. We all know that.
I'm just saying that's the irony.
All races of women that get abortions. So
Right.
there's no
I
literally
don't
no
care about
race.
other races of women. I was
Are
referring
you
to
married
black women.
to an Asian woman? Because that's what they said in the comments. Are you married to an
No, I'm
Asian
not,
woman?
man. No, I'm not, ma'am.
You're married to a black woman?
No, my wife is from Lebanon, ma'am.
Okay, so if you're not married to a black woman, what are you talking about the black community? You didn't even pour into the black community. You're making non-black children. So what do you care about the black community? Why are you talking about the black community? You don't even have a black wife. You're not even
Right.
making black children.
I have two black sisters and I have a black
Your
mother.
black sisters that's not what you've created. That's not the
Okay.
family that you've curated for yourself. So once
I hear you,
again,
ma'am.
why are you talking?
You
Why
sound
aren't you
very
talking
angry.
about
You
the
have
Lebanese community? Why aren't you
Wait, I'm
somewhere talking to
sorry.
Lebanese women?
I'm about
Why are
to.
you
He
talking to
will
black
leave
women?
his wealth to the women or the woman he married,
Exactly.
but he's so concerned about his sisters. Do something in your will or in a way that you protect your sisters since you love them so much. I feel like men like you who don't protect their communities financially have nothing. You guys cannot tell us anything about what we're doing until you fix whatever it is that you have going on that makes it where you're married to a woman who's not black and you will leave all your wealth to her.
Just 1 second, Skylar. Thank you so much, sis. I just wanted to say level up. I see you doing a lot of racially charged questions and comments to black women in the chat, like you asked PG 1908, was she in public housing? Are you in public housing? You would
Can I
be a bigger
please?
risk of being in a public housing than she would be. And my thing is that y'all gotta stop being, first of all, you're being racist. But we already know that a big portion of black men that date out have self-hatred issues, internalized racism, have a whole host of complexes and insecurities when it comes to their blackness. But you got to do better. But my thing is that why would you be up here trying to talk to black women about anything when you don't have a black wife? Why are you talking about the relationship dynamics between black women and black men or black when you're not that? It's not that. So you can go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and drop you because that was your last strike. Because I don't know who you thought you were talking to, but you can take your tap dancing, Sambo behind, and go somewhere and talk to the Lebanese community. Talk to them about why your wife is so unhappy when she sees you pull your pants down. Why don't you talk about that? Like, why don't y'all put that on Front Street? Talk about how she wept the first time she saw your Johnson and she realized that she had to use tweezers to pick it up and to touch it. Like, I really don't have no time to talk to y'all because I already know what you look like. I already know. So, like, let's be clear here. Please get up out of here. Yes,
But
and
guys,
you know
Can I
what?
do
If I sound angry, I sound angry because you're an idiot. And I'm not overweight. And I tell you what, if anybody sounds like they've been eating burgers all day long and sitting there fat behind and eating whatever Lebanese cooking that he's been getting from his wife, is you, sir. All right, so please stop it. And you sound over the hill. And you sound like you need a blue pill anytime you want to get erect with that 2-inch Vienna sausage of yours. So please go on and get up out of here and stop the games. And it's the main ones with the pictures of the black people in the black and white that are the biggest sellouts of all time. Now, you must really love black women. You must really be disappointed with that Lebanese woman because even though you a married man, you don't got an evil black woman by your side. You still find some way to bring your big bucket head behind in the live where black women is at. That's a stalker. You're a stalker. And what I'm about to do is I'm about to block you. Have a great day, sir. Goodbye. You won't be typing nothing else in that chat. Go ahead, Carmel Mermaid. Go ahead, sis.
I already did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to turn into Natina Reed from Bring It On. Like, oh, can I please? Let me just get rid of this Buffy so I can go home. Can I please block him? Just let me block him. Just let me block him.
so guys, I just want to add one, please, I beg of you, foundationally Black Americans or people that are Black don't need to be foundationally Black American to know the struggle and participate. There are
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're not FBA. You're not a Black American woman. Is that what you're saying? Are you Hispanic?
Was I dropped off in another location?
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
I was.
All right. You great. You're going to be dropped off in another location as well down in the comments. because I have no idea why you would want to insert yourself in black business. That's what I thought at first, but I didn't want to be rude. And the fact that you just totally unmuted yourself and you started speaking like without even being acknowledged or anything, that's also a problem. That's like that's the entitlement that comes with the internalized racism that people have towards black people. They feel like you can assert yourself and you feel like people have to listen to you and hear your perspective. I wouldn't come and there was a live about your community and then come and talk about it and say, well, I know about your community, because I don't live it. And that's very arrogant and ignorant to do that, ma'am. Like, that's crazy. That's like me going to a debate where like Korean people are talking and then me come up there and let me talk about Korea too. I know about Korea. Let me talk about it. People will be looking at me like I'm crazy. But for some reason, when it comes to specifically Black American people or Black people that live in America that's discussing Black American issues, y'all feel like everybody has to listen to your perspective, and we don't. We don't. And it's disrespectful. Truthfully, it's mad disrespectful. I'm not going to let you up again. Period. You already messed up. You said you got dropped off. You just got dropped off again, but you're not getting picked up back here, because that was very crazy. And like I said, when you unmuted yourself and just started talking, that already blew me. But I gave you a pass because I thought you was a Black woman. But once I heard that, it's like, yeah, no. If I'm disrespectful, Skylar, I'm gonna show you the utmost disrespect, because you about to get blocked. Bye-bye. I don't play those type of games. I'm sorry, I don't. Go ahead, PG 1908. Did you have anything to say, sis? I don't play like that. I'm sorry,
That
y'all.
was great, man. But you know what? I've seen Level Up on so many different panels, and he's got so much venom against American Black women. For him to not be an American Black man, I think is weird. That dude is always weird, and every time I see him, I'm gonna come for him, because I'm like, dude, what is your issue? You got your own section of women to go and talk to. Why are you targeting us? That's just crazy to me.
It must have been some Black woman that turned him down or something. There's got to be some reason why he has it.
I mean, but
Because
that dude always got static for us though, Trigger. I mean, on every panel, it's like, dude, what is your issue? Because at first he started talking about how they overweight and they need to get married and they need this, and single moms and the weaves, and I mean, it was just crazy. I'm like, why are you always coming for Black American women? It's just weird. Something's wrong with that man.
yeah, I definitely agree. And for him to say like everything that he was saying when he doesn't even have a Black wife is wild to me. Like
Very. It's
insane.
crazy.
And it's
It's
crazy
very
because
crazy.
they marry these non-Black women, and then they say that they hate Black women so much, but then they always want to be in spaces with Black
With
women.
Black women.
That's
And then
weird.
the crazy thing is, if you don't go along with what he say and you don't play into his narrative, that's when his fangs come out, and that's when he starts all that crazy, you overweight and you sound like you wear weaves and all this other kind of crazy stuff. I'm like, dude, you don't nobody like you. That's
Why
why
did
when in
he
the
sound like
comments I
you
was like,
wear a
this dude
weave?
is an odd man.
No, I'm
Like, right,
telling
how
you,
you sound overweight? Like, this dude's stupid, bro. How the
I
hell
can't
you
sound like
sound
this.
fat? Like, what the hell?
I
How
don't look.
crazy is that?
I feel like this is that I don't care about men's opinions of me. I don't care. I don't need their validation. I don't need if you think I'm overweight, cool. If you think I'm not, cool. If you think that I was on my 600-pound life and my husband put me on the porch and he used the hose on me, that's cool. I really don't care what you
Dude,
think.
he asked me, did I live in public housing? I'm like, dude, I'm in Atlanta. If you know, you know. If you know anything about Black people in Atlanta, I'm gonna leave it at that. Talking about
Yes,
how
I
many
lived
poor
in
people.
Atlanta,
Man,
girl. I
bye.
lived in Atlanta before when I
That
was
dude,
younger.
I was bye.
I already know.
Like, man, get out my face. You just mad because you can't get nobody in Atlanta. And if you can't get a Black woman in Atlanta, you really in trouble. That's all I know.
He was bugging, like, honestly. But
Big time.
and it's just like I said, I wish that they would realize one thing is that if a woman does not care about you, anything that you say about her, anything that you think about her, it means nothing. It's the same with the other dude, the bald dude that was up here, Dapper Dom. Like, he was saying stuff like, sir, I don't care if you think I'm the most beautiful woman in the world or the most ugly woman in the world or the most mid woman in the world. I don't care what you think at all. Like, and then it's like, I feel like Red Pill has empowered so many unattractive, bottom of the barrel men to feel like they're in a position to judge. Because when I lurk in these red pill groups, they put up pictures of women, and even they could be like, objectively really attractive women. And these men will tear these women to pieces. And I click on their profiles, and all of these men, I promise you, you will cross the street if you saw them. They are just that ugly. And it's like, why do y'all feel so empowered to speak against women that would not even spit on you if you were on fire? Like, I just really just don't get it. I don't get it. It's like they act like they're men that like all these women just want are on falling all over and fighting to have their attention. Nobody likes these men. The last time that these men, were able to get their, wet was when they put it in a piece of apple pie or a napkin or a fleshlight or their own hand. Like it's just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I just cannot respect men that ejaculate into inanimate objects about my desirability. Like, you're not going to tell me anything about myself and make me feel bad. When you want to orgasm, you have to pay somebody, or you have to oppress and take advantage of a woman from a third world country, or you just can't do it at all. Why in the world would that? Why would your opinion make me feel bad? Like, I don't get it.
Hey,
At all.
Trigger. What's going on, you?
Oh, hey, T, how you doing, sis?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Got both my pages banana until Mother's Day, but I'm not gonna go on Mother's Day. Nah, that's a dub. First of all, how I look at red pill dudes, they all a bunch of men that want to take their power back. They want to rewind back the hands of time so bad when women literally needed to be with men out of the necessity. And being that we at a time that we actually have a choice, and they don't like that. They don't like the idea, like what he said about happy wife, happy life. They feel emasculated, that women basically got power. Women basically discovered that, okay, this is what you want. I'm going to make you go through hoops and go through ups and down to get it. Basically, they don't want women to look at themselves as the prize anymore. So they do all these dark psychologies to try to break women down, because they already know that women, no matter what big, no matter how small, no matter how tall, no matter how short, no matter how she's educated, uneducated, pretty or ugly, she can always get a man. They know that for a fact. And so they don't think men like that. The red pill men believe that is unfair, because no matter how the woman looks, she could walk in a room and get any man. These men are very jealous of women, and they sexually frustrated, and they don't like the idea that women have the power to choose. Remember, that's the beautiful thing about being a woman, is that we are in the position that we can choose who we want to sleep with, versus them that they have to be chosen. And men really really have a resentment towards us about that. I see it all the time on my panel. That's what like I noticed like a new discovery as I'm experimenting, talking to these men. I'm using it also as an experiment. Like I'm analyzing them. I'm like, so it sounds like to me all of y'all are just jealous. Y'all just jealous. Y'all just jealous of the fact that women have the power to choose, and you have to scrape. You got to basically bend over backwards, probably literally, and go through basically your entire life trying to be that man that you can get your pick of the litter. Because if you was this great man, you wouldn't need another man to tell you that you're great. You wouldn't need no self-help book. You wouldn't need no little all boys only club to state the obvious that you got to get in shape and get money, and then the women are going to come. You have to make yourself a desirable man. If you need you need to pay someone to tell you that tells me you came from a low functioning place. Because no one ever had to tell me nothing about myself. I always knew I had power as a woman, and I've always exploited men. The type of women that they talk about, I'm the woman that they don't like. The woman that laughed, the girls that laughed at them in high school. The one that be like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, we can go out. Yeah, pay for this, pay for that. Oh, you my girlfriend? No. Yes, I'm one. Yes, I'm one of those girls that they talk about on a podcast that they can't get over in high school for playing them. Yes, I'm one of those girls, and I've seen, and they grew. Like I said, they grew basically into villains. And like like the Fresh and Fit Women podcast, as they sort of Revenge of the Nerd kind of thing. Like they want to get back at every woman that told them no. Then they felt like they're in a position where they got something that they can now turn around and tell the women, look at me now. That they can now turn around and tell the women, look at me now. And what makes it funny is that the women back then, even the women today, still go, I still don't want to look at you. You're still a lame. They still go, I still don't want to look at you. You're still a lame to me. You started off as a lame. You was born a lame. You were unalive as a lame. You will always be a lame to me.
You know
So
what? You know what, T? What you said about the men being jealous, I think that you made a great point. I don't know if you had ever heard about this, but a lot of it was like a lot of white T men, so you might not know or not. But I'm not for sure if the black men were doing it, but they might have been. But I know that white T men were very, very upset that girls were able to like get on Twitch and be able to just look cute or have like a low cut shirt on and show their cleavage or show their breast area and get all of this money from all of the dudes that will watch
look
them
at
stream.
OnlyFans
Yes,
models.
yes,
They
they
get the
were
most
also
hate
mad at the
from
OnlyFans.
men.
Yes, and they were also mad at the OnlyFans girls as well. So it was a couple dudes that were like using AI, and then some other dudes were wearing these like fake prostheses so that they could pretend to be girls, so that they could see if they could get the same money from streaming and doing like Twitch and OnlyFans and all of that. And that just, when I saw that and I seen so many men excited, like, yeah, that's right, it's our turn, I knew that a lot of it was rooted in jealousy, just like you were saying.
It is. It's absolutely the amount of men that slide down the wall coming on my panel talking to me. It's all rooted in jealousy because, and like I can't begin to explain to you how many men have literally broke down and basically and confessed. Like if you listen to them, what they're saying, and let them talk. They basically have said, so you don't deserve to be married. You don't deserve the husband you got. I can't believe that, it's women like you that ruin marriage. It's women like you that manipulate men to get what y'all want. And y'all make the man work himself to unalive just to please you. And I always go, yes, absolutely. And I enjoy it every single time. I enjoy watching women making y'all work for them, as you should. And if you think you are working hard enough, you actually should try a bit more. Honestly speaking, I mean, when you say get your money up, I mean, one job ain't gonna cut it. You should grab 2 or 3 more jobs, actually. Like they cannot stand that the power that women have, that we basically can turn men into willing slaves. They don't like it. They do not like that they have to, basically, they don't like the fact that the world had put coochie on a pedestal. That's pretty much what they cannot stand.
Well, I will say that's their fault.
It will always be their fault. And I never feel bad. And I never feel bad. Well, every time I see a woman that took advantage of a man, especially for money, I go, that's a win for the team. That's a win for the girls. Good.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna go from the top to the bottom and see if you guys have anything else to say. Go ahead, PG 1908. I'll start from the top and go back down to the bottom. Did you have anything to say, PG 1908?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Carmel Mermaid, did you have anything to say, sis? Well, let me see if I send her a request to turn her mic. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I turned your mic off. Carmel Mermaid, try to cut it on again. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Or did you have anything to say?
okay, I'm here. No, because the main reason why I was up here to show. No, the reason why I was over here to show Odu the thing stating that actually black men are also the least desirable according to those dating apps as well. That's the only thing. That's the main reason why I came up here.
I'm glad that you did.
To show the data and shut them up.
I'm definitely glad that you did, even though I just feel like everything went over his head. But I'm glad that you showed it to him, because it'd just be even if it didn't resonate with them, when I put it on YouTube, it'll resonate with somebody that heard everything that you said.
I found you on YouTube. I've been a huge fan, and honestly, when it comes to the red pill, I think it has done like irreversible damage. I don't think any woman should get with any guy who's been in the red pill. Like, I just think all of that is poisonous. I think once a guy goes down that rabbit hole, he really cannot come back. And again, thank you for letting me up, and I love your lives, and hopefully I'll be on TikTok at the same time as you again.
Okay, no problem. I really appreciate you, Gabrielle, for coming up. I really do, and I appreciate everything that you said. And thank you so much, Brooklyn, Shanae, in the comments. Hey, T, did you have anything to say, sis? The only reason why I'm about to end it out is because, girl, I hit 2 hours. So once I start hitting the twos, I'll be like, bye.
No, you good. No, you good. My husband went to go see his mother because his mother don't live far. So he walked over there real quick, and I figured I can jump on real quick. So yes, ladies, remember, you the prize. Never forget that you are the prize. I don't care if a man had jumped over the moon for you. Let him jump over Pluto. If he have the ability to jump over Pluto, let him do it for you, because you are the prize. And that's the whole point why we got all of these red pills, all of these infidel all boy groups to try to get their confidence on a level that we have. They try to take away our power and our ability. So listen, don't forget, all of this is rooted in manipulation tactics. They want you to feel undesirable because they are undesirable. They're trying to psychologically break you down. They're trying to spiritually break you down and break your confidence down, so you can feel how they feel, so they can get the one up. You don't have to play the good girl. You don't have to be the good girl. You could be whatever woman you want to be. And if you feel like if a man ain't trying to, like I said, jump over Pluto for you, he ain't the one. And you can always be single, and you can still have 100 men eating out of the palms of your hands. Trust and believe. What one man won't do, the other 10 will. That's all I got to say.
All right. It's always love when you come up, T. You always crack me up, and you always also give good things for the ladies to hear. I just wanted to say to anybody, shameless plug, if y'all are listening, y'all enjoyed this live, I do have a YouTube, and all you do have to click on this page, and the link is right there, and it'll take you right to my right to my YouTube channel. And I do upload a brand new video every day at 6 a.m. So you can go ahead and follow me over there. I'm on the road to 20K. So please help me reach my goal of 20K. Because only less than 1% of YouTube channels make it to 20K. So I'll already have did something amazing. So if you guys could help me reach that goal, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, I just want to give a special shout out to PG 1908. She was here from the beginning of this live today. She held it down a lot. She was over here going at these goofy goober dudes that was up here, hitting them with facts, hitting them with intellect, and they just didn't have a response for it. And she also was patient as well, which I definitely lack. So she taught me to try to, to keep it together. Oh man. And also, I just want to also say thanks to Caramel Mermaid for giving her statistics and everything. Appreciate you, Caramel Mermaid, for that, because we definitely needed those to get Dapper Doodoo Ball Head in order. So appreciate that, and also appreciate you, Gabrielle, for coming up as well. And also appreciate you, T. It's always good to see T and Supervillain. They always come in my lives and they make me laugh, but they also are able to get on these dudes and also give them facts as well. So definitely appreciate you for coming up, T. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to start earlier to where you could have been here. So you could have been here, longer, because I'm sure that there was some dudes here you definitely will want to have, got with for sure. And also shout out to Dark Truth. But yeah, I just appreciate all of you ladies, and I just want y'all to know that, we got a little bit off topic here, so maybe I will do this topic again. I'm not for sure, but I just want you to know, if you're a Black woman and you're listening to this, you are awesome. You're amazing. You're special. You're valuable. I say that all the time because I want you to know it. I want you to it just be ingrained in your soul. You are a queen. You have power. And that's the reason why all of these men, even though they say that they hate you, that's the reason why they're drawn to it. Just like the guy Leveled Up that was in here, and the other guy, Dapper Doodoo Head. The reason why they kept coming in here, but they say that they hate Black women. They don't like Black women's hair. They don't like their attitudes. They don't like their bodies. They're doing this, that, and the third. But yet and still, they're always in our spaces. Why? Because they are drawn to our power like I don't know, like a bee is the honey, like for real. And that should let you know that you truly are powerful. It's just that these men don't want you to know that know your power. Because once you know your power, once you know your worth, you won't settle for less. Once you know your power, when a Dusty tries to come up to you and say something, you'll be like, oh, do you know who I am? Do you know the power that I hold? Do you know the essence of who I am? I would never lower myself to be with a dust bucket. I would never, ever lower myself to be with you. That is what they don't want to happen. Just like how T was saying, they want to break you down. They want to lower your self-esteem. Just like that. Like, if we're all saying it because it's so clearly there. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. Oh, Miss Chrissy Baby said, moth to a flame. Exactly. These men are attracted to Black women's power like a moth to a flame. And they will always do it, because ask yourself, when you see a man that you're disgusted by, or you don't like what he's saying, what is your natural inclination to go, ew, 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 yuck, I'm about to block him. Ugh, I don't want to be around him. Yuck, I don't want to hear him talk to me. That's what you do, right? When you don't like somebody. But these men swear they hate Black women so much, but want to be right up under us. You got a man that was on here talking about he married to a Lebanese woman and still can't keep away from Black women. Still have to be around, buzzing around. But anyway, that's all I want to say. So I just say I love y'all. Love y'all. I will always create spaces for Black women. And, dare I say it, even more specifically, Black American women. Not that other Black women in the diaspora are not loved by me, because y'all are. I love all Black women. But I'm just saying that a lot of times Black American women are not focused on a lot. And so I choose to center Black American women. I am a Black American woman, and I feel like that's the most thing that I know. So I'm always going to center Black American women first. So for anybody that was mad at me about that lady that I dropped, I'm sorry, she had to go. She wasn't speaking from a place of knowing anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But if you know, if you tuned in late, then you might not know what I'm talking about. But anyway, you guys, I'll see y'all later. Love y'all, and thank all of you guys for attending. Thank you for coming in. Miss Chrissy Baby, Mika, PG 1908, T Scorpio, Brooklyn Shanae. Let me see all my ladies that's in the chat that's still here, so I can give y'all a shout out. Jess Justified, it's always good to see you in here, sis. Miss Good News, it's always good to see you in here, sis. Auntie T, it's always good to see you in here, sis, too. That's all the people I think I recognize that's in the chat right now. But love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Oh, Leor too. I see you a lot as well. All right, see y'all. Bye-bye.